We are at the moment in a cycle of life where everybody, if you're just a little bit aware, you can feel something is shifting. Some people are not willing to maybe adapt to the change. Some people are not strong enough to adapt to the change. Some people don't know how to put it into practice in order to go with the change. It is my perspective. There will come the time, and it's not going to take long, where a natural separation is going to take place, a natural separation. The ones that are able to read the signs, that are able to go with what is happening, to adapt to the changes this world is bringing to us, they will move on to another world. They will move on to another area, to another cycle of us humans being right now here on the earth. And other people that are unwilling, unable, maybe incapable of adapting to the coming changes. It is simple like this. They will stay with the old world, which is about to end. That's the message. That's all what this is about. An old era is about to come to an end. A new era is about to come. This is worldwide happening. It's happening inside our monastery. It's happening inside of me.
From the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us, so we may see all things in clarity. From the north, house of night, may wisdom ripen in us, so we may see all from within. From the west, house of transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right action, so we may do what must be done. From the south, house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest, so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. From above, house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. From below, house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. From the center, galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Ayum hunabku evam maya e maho. Ayum hunabku evam maya e maho. Ayum hunabku evam maya e ma ho.
Just different. I am the world changer, coded by the blue storm. My number is 19, the power of all number. I am the master alchemist, the force behind the philosopher's stone. Skilled at the art of transmutation. I am the catalytic transformer of world consciousness and planetary living. I oversee the changes of the weather. I am the thunder that shatters your world systems. I am the transport of clouds filled with lightning to illuminate the truth behind your illusions. I am the bringer of the drenching rains that purifies, spies. It was I who caused the triple Aztec monuments of the Avatar archetype to appear in the ancient temple grounds. I oversee the morning and the evening stars. I behold the creator of the fifth sun, the present world. Sent forth am I to dwell among you, calling forth the sixth sun. For the great regeneration of the world's soul, to know me is to know your own power of self-generation. To know me is to know your own power of self-generation. Self-generation is power. I am the transport of clouds filled with lightning to illuminate the truth behind your illusions. I am the bringer of the drenching rains that purifies, spies.
All right. In Lakesh Allah Kin. I hope everybody can hear me clearly. Welcome to another Sync Talk. We are in our fall course series where we talked about the power of the 13 moon calendar. And we also talked about things important things you need to know about the law of time. And today we're going to talk about remembering the HOLOMIND Perceiver. And my name is Neb Teharka Kin, and I am the founder and master teacher and chancellor of the Synchronistic Human School of Enlightenment. And what I intend to do over the next 30 to 45 minutes is give you an idea about what the power of the new time is, and as time and how it relates to the mind. In fact, time from this sense or this perspective is the evolution of consciousness. And how can our consciousness evolve? Well, it takes memory to do so. So many of the things that I'm going to share with you tonight are going to be abstract, but you don't have to learn it. All you have to do is remember it. It's in your psyche. It's in your memory. And so as we access higher levels of consciousness, then we are able to do more dynamic things in the body, like telepathy, like extrasensory perception, and different things that we may not have been able to do. And it's not impossible. It's just our focus is different on how our mind works. So I am ecstatic. We just eclipsed over 1,000 one-on-one synchronicity coaching sessions in 4.5 years. That's quite a milestone. And we are stepping into the new time. Let me tell you what that means. So back in 1582, when they started this calendar, they skipped the first 10 days. Now, to a linear calendar, a time is money calendar, a fallacious calendar, it doesn't matter that you skip the 10 days. But for those who are seeking to evolve, you can't skip consciousness. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So when you see calendrical systems as energy and connecting to the higher mind, there was a blind spot back then that perpetuated itself 441 years up to October the 4th, 2023. So if you subtract 1582 from 2023, you'll get 441 years. I did not know 8 years ago when I got started that I would be teaching a very abstract, futuristic topic that could help humanity evolve out of our state from the technology that has kept us suppressed and contained in a certain part of our left brain and our linear mind. I didn't know that. And I didn't know that the 441 years matched the 441 codes on how to lock the whole mind, or what we're going to call tonight the HOLOMIND Perceiver. So you are truly in for a treat. And after this is over, if you're intrigued by this and you have the wherewithal and the desire to evolve in the manner that I'm talking about, we need to connect, because there are some things that are happening right now. And truth be told, the only time is now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next this or that or the other. We only have this moment. And every day we have 1,440 minutes. 1,440 minutes to occupy our experience with and this consciousness that we have. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm very excited about this. Who are we? We are the Synchronistic Human School of Enlightenment. We are a progressive group of cosmic beings that are highly intelligent, intuitive, and telepathic, and laser beam focused on evolving throughout the journey of remembrance to fulfill our galactic purpose. To fulfill our galactic purpose. That's what we're here to do. We started this online school based in Atlanta just last year, July 2023. I, as the founder, Neb Teharka Kin, and we're accepting students worldwide. One of the reasons why we went to more of a hybrid online unit, so the different time zones would not disrupt the participation. So currently we're offering 12 classes. A lot of them are based on the law of time, which is a new concept for a lot of people, and its relationship to nature. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the whole mind concepts that help us improve our self-image as a galactic being, as an expanded being of consciousness that can do more dynamic things in the body. All right. So the economic initiatives now based on this thinking and teaching is going to be coming up in 2025 for small businesses to adopt these concepts so that we can build an economy that's more in alignment with planet Earth. So very exciting. The power of the evolved consciousness. Check this out. If you correct your mind, like we did by correcting the error in time, the rest of your life will fall into place. All right. And now we're talking about concept as we shift from the information age into the telepathic age of our existence. And so now here we sit, we're in it. We are in the telepathic age of our existence, of our beingness. All right. And so I also want to preface this. Who owns your time, owns your mind. Change your time, change your mind, and change your mind, and you will change your world. So what is the solution? You hear me say, evolution is the solution. The solution is to evolve, because as we evolve, then we become more powerful than the circumstances that we have that we think is repressing or suppressing us or triggering us or this us or that us. To evolve beyond the circumstances. And we have the unused memory in order to do it. Scientists say that we have 100+ million years of memory stored in our brain. I like to say back here in our cerebellum. And I like to say with smartphones, we're probably only using 100 of our own memory, 100 years out of 100 million. And all the memory that we're using is actually in smartphones and computers, an artificial version of the spiritual being of ourselves. All right. So I want to tap into the science of spirituality and how our states of consciousness can determine what we're available for in terms of what we experience on the planet. All right. So this is an example of the what we call the dream spell calendar. It's a combination of 3 calendars. I'll show you. Where it says 8/28, that's the Gregorian calendar insignia. Where it says 6, so it's the 6th day of the lunar moon. Okay, which is the second moon. We start this cycle July 26th of every year based on star Sirius. And so to get more information about that, just reach out to us. We'll send you some correspondence. And then this picture here is a glyph of the human archetype. And these bars with dots, this is what we call galactic notation. And it signifies the 13th tone, the cosmic tone. So this is the cosmic human kin 52. Now with these kin, there are 260 kin that represent the gestation period of the human. So that means from when we came from the galaxy, from inception into our physical body, our incarnation. And so that 260-day journey is what I call the journey of remembrance. As we remember how we came into this body, we now can remember the different states of consciousness and the different tasks that we can perform in the physical body. That's beyond what we're doing right now. Okay. So when we look at this, also we call the days of the week, Dali, Celi, Gamma, Kali, Alpha, Limi, and Celio. So we're on Limi. All right. And each moon asks a question. And the question for this moon is, what is my challenge? Now, with the group that I talked to on Sunday, I said, how are you going to challenge yourself to fulfill your purpose? So you should be looking for a challenge in this 28-day period. We're on day 6 of the 28-day period. And Limi is tied to the solar plexus chakra, which means focus. So if you focus right now, whatever you focus on, you're going to create with a greater propensity, because this energy we call plasma is all about focus. Okay. So this is just an example, and anybody can download this for free. And when you start following it, By synchronizing these cycles that I'm talking about, it opens up your mind to be able to access this memory, access higher states of consciousness, and therefore be more dynamic and intelligent with your experience on Earth and in the Earth. All right. So today's kin is kin 52. Each kin has a affirmation, or what we call a declaration of incarnation. And the affirmation and declaration of incarnation reads as follows: I endure in order to influence. Transcending wisdom, I seal the process of free will with the cosmic tone of presence. I am guided by the power of intelligence. That's different than Wednesday. So we say this 2 more times to imprint it in our mind and our heart and radiate it out into the cosmos. All right. I endure in order to influence, transcending wisdom. I seal the process of free will with the cosmic tone of presence. I am guided by the power of intelligence. 1 more time to lock it in. I endure in order to influence, transcending wisdom. I seal the process of free will with the cosmic tone of presence. I am guided by the power of intelligence. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe-o. Let's read a little bit more about the human archetype, or what we call the sage. And let's see what it says about the sage before we get into the HOLOMIND perceiver. It states, sage, the 12th archetype out of 20. I am the sage, coded by the yellow human. 12 is my number, perfect order and root of the mystic 144. There's 1,440 minutes in a day. There's the 144. The perfection of the human temple, benevolent, kind, and wondrous. I am the wise one, the judge, the discriminator. I have mastered the 7 sinners and perfected the laws of external and internal forces. Higher mind control is the power of my influence. In my right hand, I hold the double terminated crystal of equalizing skillful means. In my left hand, I hold the crystal ball of universally impartial wisdom and clear seeing. My way is spontaneous conduct, free from fabrication. I am the blueprint of the purified solar human. I speak with the voice of the noosphere, announcing the return of all things good. To know me is to know thyself. Does anybody on here want to know thyself? Anybody on here want to evolve past the circumstances that you think are permanent in your life? Well, you're in the right space at the right time. And so as we get into this, we're going to talk about remembering the whole mind, or the HOLOMIND perceiver. Okay. And so when we look at this nanochip, this is a diagram of the different codes of this mind synchronization program that helps us to evolve in space. This has a number of different things that we're going to talk about. 4 of the 9 time dimensions that we can tap into and that we teach about in the HOLOMIND perceiver to help us become have higher mind control and to be more telepathic as beings. So when I say we are moving from the information age into the telepathic age, we are living in that right now. All right, so I know this looks foreign to people. I'm going to explain a little bit, some basic concepts of the HOLOMIND perceiver, so that if you find yourself intrigued like I was, and one of the things that I realized when I first saw this, if you ever seen the movie Lucy, and that movie back in the day showed some ideas about how the things that she was able to do using 20% of her brain capacity consciously. 30, 40, 50, all the way up to 100. And so I said, wow, that'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to be able to have the science behind how that works. And shortly after that, I got introduced to this cosmology. And that's why I dove so deep into it and said, what if this could really help us be like that? That would be great, because we would be able to do things that we can't do right now. Okay. All right. So what is the HOLOMIND perceiver? What is the purpose of the HOLOMIND perceiver and why study it? All right. The HOLOMIND perceiver is a hypersense organ located in the corpus callosum. All right. The energy of such is rooted in plasma that facilitates the integration of time, not the clock time, but the evolution of consciousness as time, space, and mind as the principle of radicalized synchronization that activates the totality of our perceptual being. Now, what does that mean in layman's terms? That this telepathically imprinted idea about accessing our memory and different states of consciousness allows us to integrate time as an evolutionary concept throughout space, anywhere on the planet and in the galaxy and beyond, and access parts of the mind in a radical way that synchronizes and activates the totality of how we can see ourselves. Now, let me tell you the big thing. You know, I've heard many times people say, people without vision will perish. Anybody heard that besides me? Right? People without vision will perish. But they didn't say why they would perish, because it's not just they don't have the vision, they don't have the self-image that they can fulfill the vision that they're able to take or see in their mind. So if they don't see that they can accomplish the vision in their heart of hearts, then it'll just be a wish. So now, following the synchronic order, telepathically imprints this ideal of the whole mind deposited into the human's brain, and to integrate that through plasma. So we have plasma in our brain between the left and right hemisphere of the brain, and our cerebral spinal fluid to lubricate our chakras. And then at the heart, in the blood, we have what? Plasma. So all of this is based on the plasma universe model, not the standard Big Bang theory that we were taught in school. All right, so this may seem abstract to you, but if your heart is telling you, I need to know that, like it did mine, you need to know that. Because what else is going to teach us to evolve? What it says is correct application of this system of synchronization may help to involve humanity in the galactic community. You'll hear me talk a lot about galactic consciousness. Persons who have realized their past and futures will be able to become interstellar mediators to direct and receive downloads of galactic information. I've experienced that firsthand. From multiple frequency streams emanating the universal electromagnetic spectrum, i.e. ocean. So we're in the electromagnetic spectrum, and it causes us to get more in tune with our heart. This is why it is said that the heart has more electrical impulses than the brain. So from an energetic standpoint, we need to know what we know inside the heart as it radiates out, so that we can attract what we are magnetizing in the electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, and this is where frequency and vibration equals currency. All right. All right, so this is an ideal, right? So let's look at some evolutionary conflicts that this ideal brings. So I like to, sometimes when we hear about ideologies, we just talk about what we'll gain and how great it is, but we ain't talking about how it's going to affect us emotionally. Maybe some of our family members won't support us now. Maybe they think we crazy. Maybe this happens or that happens. Maybe you lose your house, use your car. So what are the conflicts with this type of ideal that I've experienced over the last 8 years? I'd like to share those with you. The HOLOMIND perceiver is the fifth dimensional power of the infinite mind way. To he or she, much is given, much is required. This is the science of how telepathy works in extrasensory perception. It's based on the law of holonomy, which states we are systems energetically that are connected inside of larger systems. So the blood cells in my body are part of the circulatory system. The circulatory system is part of the body. The human body is part of the biosphere of the earth. The biosphere is part of the earth. The earth is part of the solar system. So if we go back to the cell, the solar system is just another version of the cells. For my cells to say I have no reference to the body is misaligned or malignant, and it creates what? A cancer, right? They stop behaving based on their original purpose. Some of the conflicts that come up is sensory, I feel like, versus extrasensory, emotional intelligence information. So we've been programmed to say, well, I feel like somebody's doing this to me, or I feel like I'm angry because this game ain't working in the way I want it to work, or I feel like this and I feel like that. And that is a limited version of your intelligence, because the sense moves into a consciousness that becomes extrasensory. For example, touch turns into tactile consciousness. And so now you can feel what you're not even touching. Extrasensory perception and emotional intelligence is the stability of those emotions, not triggers. With the stable emotional intelligence, there are no triggers. The trigger is emotional EI, right? And then there's another conflict, the empath versus the telepath, which is both. If you're empathic, you're a very strong telepath. And so you got to get the other side of the equation. And when you do, that empathic power is very powerful and can be controlled. Ashe? All right. So those are the conflicts. Now let's look at what the power of remembrance is. So we're in a journey of remembrance to access the full power of the self, the power of God in us. So the HOLOMIND Perceiver overall has 48 universal recollections. We call it UR codes. That help program plasma in the body. We have the 11 circuits, the 10+1 circuits that connects us to the solar system in a thought pattern. 9 time dimensions that help us evolve space, right? And that's what we're going to stop. We can't go over all of this because there's actually 21 levels to master this. So I'm introducing it to some of you right now, and some of you have already taken a version of this, but you haven't taken this version of it, because this is the evolved version of this material, right? 9 time dimensions, evolved space, 7 mental spheres that are the cosmic thinking layers that your brain processes and allows you to pull down through the body, 5 quarts of power for manifestation, and 3 holons, the law of holonomy, for multi-dimensionality. So at the same time, we have a physical body temple. We have an etheric body, which is the spirit. And we have an energetic light body that's housed by the chakras that gives us access to Akashic records and that communicates with the sun, star Sirius, and the stars, and gives us intelligence from other dimensions. And us just being exposed to this and seeing how the synchronic order works to open up our mind, the 1,000-petal lotus of the crown chakra, to receive this data makes you believe and know well beyond what you wouldn't have understood not knowing. All right, so we're going to focus on time dimension 1, time dimension 2, time dimension 3, and time dimension 4. Because there's 400, if you counted all these codes, this is a 21 by 21 cubed matrix. 21 times 21 is 441. Hence, this is the number of years that the Gregorian calendar has been in existence. And it's a sign for those that want to see it that we are shifting into a new time in mind for the human on the planet. We're shifting into the telepathic human or the synchronistic human as you learn more about this. All right. So let's look at the first time dimension. Now, this is very scientific, and I never liked science, but I love this because it shows me how my mind can work, and I've been able to practice this, and the things that I've been able to tap into have just been unbelievable. So let's just look at some of this data. First time dimension is called cosmic creation. With cosmic creation, is located in the back rear of the brain, right rear of the brain. So you can touch that, right? And it's also connected to pre-consciousness, which is before consciousness, or a premeditation before we put consciousness in motion. This is the time or evolution of consciousness generator or gene rationer, right? Genetics, right? Gene generator, the gene rationer. All right. This has all the creation myths and cosmic creation codes. So everything that's been created in the cosmos, you can tap into through your mind according to this. It includes the DNA programs, the carbon-based enzymes, right? And so that's very cytosine, guanine, right? Thymine. So these are all together. And so also it helps you tap into the 64 DNA codons and what we call the 260, right? The 260 kin is part of the array of the PsyBank, which is the psychosensory information bank that records everything on the planet. And mentally, we can connect to that by just following these calendars in the synchronic order that we teach at the Synchronistic Human School of Enlightenment. Okay, so it gets into the I Ching program. There's all kind of things connected. So when I love to talk to people about different religions, because this is where all the religions came from, the baseline of it. And so it's very powerful. Now, there will be some cognitive dissonance because we've been used to something else, but I'm telling you, being able to accept this doesn't do nothing but enhance your belief system because we're seeing it from a whole perspective. Let's go to the second time dimension. All right. Oh, let's finish this up. There's also the 12-strand second creation DNA programs. That's dealing with the harmonics. You'll hear us talk about 7 radioplasmas. Instead of calling them days, we call them radioplasmas because we're talking about energy that's consciousness traveling through plasma and informing us as sentient beings. The 7-day cycle, the 7 gene ration creation codes, the cosmic science galactic generated codes. We have a part of this course, level 4, talking about cosmic science and cosmic electricity. And there's a 7-stage cosmic evolution codes, all these 7s. So we talk very general about 7. 7 is my favorite number. Well, now you got more of a reason for it to be your favorite number. Laws of crystalline, right? Crystal to the 4th dimension is the same thing as chlorophyll is to plant life in the 3rd dimension, and melanin in the 3rd dimension. Molecular amplification codes, tablets, this is connected very strong to the periodic table and is considered element 113. We know there's 112 elements on the periodic table. The HOLOMIND perceiver is the 113th. And it goes on and on and on, the mathematical laws of creation and the logarithmic spiral, which is what? The Fibonacci sequence. Okay? And so these are how the cosmic and the archetypal personality reorganize the code to evolve. That's why when you follow certain practices on a daily basis, if you look at the Fibonacci sequence, you start to become something different just based on your behavior, and what you think about every day evolves you into a new version of yourself. Let's go on to the second time dimension, is what's called cosmic ascension. So the first time dimension was called cosmic creation. so that we can create anything in the cosmos, because we can access the codes to how it works. This is on the back left part of the brain, is where the second time dimension governs that part of the brain. All right. And it's called continuing consciousness. And the last one was the time generation, how time is the gene ration that informs the human. But this is the mind generation or generator. The mind generator shows us just how far your mind can go. The brain and your mind are two different things. The brain is the instrument that processes consciousness. The mind is infinitely locatable throughout the cosmos. It includes all the programs of ascensions. So we hear people talking about making their ascension, enlightenment codes, programs of cognitive and perceptual field systems analysis, all systems of yoga, hatha, karma, jhana, bhakti, raj, kundalini, integral yoga methods of cosmic reintegration, sciences of self-perfection, self-mastery, enlightenment. That's what that is. All systems of knowledge that lead to enlightenment. The science of nutrition, right, leads us to all of this. Intergalactic spiritual unification codes. We're talking about unifying spiritually. This is from a cosmic perspective. It's amazing. Mathematical laws of psycho-spiritual communication. The psychology of spirituality. This is what the beyond his time Reverend Ike was talking about, because he used the book of the Bible as a book of psychology, not of spirituality. Because psychology is what's going to put it into motion. The psychology of soul programs, structures, supermental cognition, supermental abilities to think and move things with your mind, and revelation, things that are revealed through unconditional love, methods of structures of supermental ascent and descent, divinatory and oracular methods of transcendence. Today is a transcendence day, right? Mind control over inner time. Look at what it says, 441, the synchronotron telepathic communicator. This is on a whole nother level, family. And we've been teaching this for 20 consecutive semesters, and we hadn't put it on public yet. Now we just did. Telepathic synthesis codes and evolving field analysis. Universal recollection, UR, and unified universal unification programs. Do you think this can help us with poverty issues? Do you think this can help us be more in tune with the earth? Do you think this can help us understand the galaxy and the other planets that had life on it better? Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's look at the third time dimension. Cosmic synchronization. Now we talk about it's a synchronicity. There's another synchronicity, right? But this is dealing with the radiance, the generator of the power of radiance. We have a saying, and this is governing the sub and the unconscious mind, which is in the right front of the brain. You can touch that. And we have a saying, your radiance dissolves any frequencies that's not aligned with your galactic purpose. That's your weapon. That's why it said in the Bible, no weapon formed against me will prosper, because it's the power of radiance that we're walking with and that we're talking with, and that nothing and with a weaker frequency can even penetrate the force field and the ability of this power. It includes all law of time codes in the synchronic order, which gives the nature its power. The synchronic order is what powers nature. The Zolkin Matrix program, the 52-unit light body programs, is a program to access our cosmic memory. Did you know that? So we're walking around in a deep state of amnesia, and we don't even know it. I'm telling you, so you can become aware and change the state to waking conscious mediumship. Prophetic timing and revelation code, psi, psychosensory information, and psi chronos, noospheric evolutionary and timing codes. This is all dealing with the collective consciousness of the humans around the planet. As the sunspots change, the consciousness of the human going to determine, do we attract asteroids or do we repel them? Fifth force, social reorganization codes. We're heavy into that right now. The dynamics of time and cosmic evolution. So if the cosmos is going to evolve, if the earth is in a pole shift and the earth is going to evolve, what do you think we need to do? As above, so below. So I don't have anything against a revolution, but this is an evolution. That's why I said evolution is the solution. Ashe? Let's see what else it has to say. Telepathy. The subconscious mind has to be programmed with synchronicity instead of artificial programs from computers. So you can access the cosmic creation code, psychic activation abilities, acceleration code like time beams, to be able to evolve consciousness faster than light. They say light that light moves at 299 million kilometers per second. So our mind is faster than this. Well, let's practice it and see. That's what I did 8 years ago. I still don't think I'm faster than light, but I'm faster than I was. Right? Planetary, interplanetary, heliospheric. Right? Heliospheric, helionomics. We do a space report in one of our sessions by Alcione Frederick. Well, she's Kin 66. She does an amazing job. Every Sunday, we do this space report. Binary stellar, intergalactic pulsation, information codes. All this jargon, all this information is very coded, but in the school, we broke it down into simple terms where people can understand, overstand, and understand it so they can use it to help them evolve themselves and evolve their circumstances. Ashe? Powerful information here. Let's go to the fourth dimensional code, cosmic cubed. The cube in the sarcophagus of Pacal, right? Who's back from the original Mexicans, and the galactic Maya had a cube and a sphere in his hand. The cube represented all the possibilities in the world, in the cosmos. And then the sphere represents consciousness. Put it together, you get the evolution of consciousness. And this creates the conscious space generator. The fourth dimensional cube creation codes includes fourth dimensional space activation codes. This is why you have people like Terrence Howard, people having a different perspective about mathematics. You're in a different perspective because they are coming from a fourth dimensional perspective. We've created science, mathematics, and everything that you see, all the structures have been built from a third dimensional mind, third dimensional science. The pyramids and immortal architecture were built with fourth dimensional mind in science. That's why it's immortal architecture. All time, space, geometry, sacred geometry we're talking about, the science of architectonics, the science of sound, or the harmonics, geometry of music, and synthesia, the synesthetic field codes of morphology or morphogenesis is all in this whole mind concept, and shows you how to use it while you're in the body with intelligence, not randomly, but intelligently. Now, I know some people's mind is blown. They're like, oh, I don't know if I could learn this. You don't got to learn it. Just remember it. Also, the construction of the planetary art whole. In this perspective, energy factored by time is art. We're not in the time is money paradigm any longer. We're about to take this to a whole nother level, family. Cube cosmologies and cosmic time engineering. Time travel, right? Stellar planetary design principles, hyperorganic field projection codes, because this is a holographic projection of mind. So whose projection is it? It's a holographic projection of our mind. Our circumstances and what we're experiencing in this life is a holographic projection of our mind. The question is, who programmed it to project what it's projecting, or project what it's reflecting back to you in this experience? And so this is the HOLOMIND Perceiver introduction. And there's 21 levels to master this, because we only talking about 4 time dimensions. We're not talking about the other 5 tonight. It's so vast. And I spent the last 8 years constructing a way to teach this to people that want to evolve. And you know what I said? If I try to evolve and it don't work, I can always go back to the way it was. And the way it was wasn't that bad, but it wasn't that good either. It could have been a lot better. It wasn't as good as this. That's for sure. All right. This is what a chart looks like. Give thanks to brother Akil Sharif, who did the chart with today's energy. So we take part of the destiny cross from the law of time, and we plot it on the chart. There's a location for it. And it's just like real estate, location, location, location. The location tells you a story. And if you look at some of these areas, that some of them have a lot of activation where it says MCF, this blue hand or blue glyph here, the black dot in this cross that says space. There's 4 activations in this little area. And that is in the court of what we call cosmic knowledge. So now we know that we need to access cosmic knowledge, get the download, follow the instructions, and transform our life. It shows us, it's a map. It's a navigational tool of this life that we have. All right, so I'm not going to go into it, just to give an idea. Now, we went over a lot of information that was deep. And, you know, typically what happens is people say, hey, I don't know if I could do that, but I'm telling you, you can. And let me tell you this, you almost have to, because this is more than interesting at where the world is. It's necessary for us to govern our own mental. I listen to people spend hours and hours and hours complaining about presidential candidates that govern our mental abilities, that we put our livelihood in their hands. Did you ever think to elect yourself, to select and elect yourself and practice self-governance? And be able to get some knowledge out of this world in your own memory. So no matter how, you know, much of a learning disability that you have, all you got to do is learn how to remember. Once we teach you that, you have access to everything. It's in your psyche. And all you got to do is learn how to remember, because doesn't it make sense to just learn how to remember what you already know versus try to learn something that's artificial that you never knew and that will cause you to reduce yourself so you'll never know the expanded version of yourself? Just learn to remember. And a lot of these issues that's in our tissues will go away. All right. So tomorrow we're going to have a new kin orientation. So I don't know who's new on this line. If you're new to this, I recommend you get this. Myself and Moon Goddess Ambrosia, we team up on this. She is phenomenal. We may hear a little bit from her tomorrow, but she's traveling, so I'll be holding down the lion's share of the process. But you get introduced to your galactic signature and your galactic purpose. You get to talk about what energy is taking place today that supports us in our intentions from a cosmic perspective, evolutionary tools. You get to meet other people who are new, and they may even be in your city and you don't even know it. Y'all could be having tea or getting together and sharing ideas and evolving together. You might have somebody right in your backyard. So phenomenal. So that's tomorrow at 8. So we'll put that information in the chat. We'd love to see you, or message me if you got any questions, so we can make sure you equipped and comfortable to be a part of that. It's a lot of fun to make these discoveries. Because I thought I was doomed until I figured out my galactic purpose, and that my purpose on Earth became easy. My purpose is to empower in order to catalyze. Once I figured that out, I always ask myself, am I empowering and catalyzing something in myself or someone else? Yep, I'm in the right place. If the answer is no, I'm packing my stuff and I'm leaving. And I can show you how to do that as well. All right. And then on Sunday, we're going to have our session. We call it Amplify Your Purpose. It's from 10:30 to 12. Sometime ago to 12:30. And but this is about disrupting systemic programming, accessing higher states of consciousness, using the concepts that I'm talking about. Keys for prospering in the new time. How are we going to have access to this vault of memory and be broke in our physical experience? We can prosper in the new time right now. There's nothing wrong with prospering, because everything that supports you has the consciousness of you. Money, relationships, and your health is taking on the consciousness of you that's in your heart, in your heart of hearts. All right, so this is going to be a very powerful session. The warrior forms the path of abundance. All right, and I'm doing a special, all right, because we're going to open up the student portal on Friday. All right, so those, you have till tomorrow. If you've heard this session, right, and you want to take the class, if you get 2 classes, you're going to get 2 for 1. Okay? So if you're new, you should be looking at the Law of Time Basics and the Introduction to the Synchronic Order, the HOLOMIND Perceiver. The Law of Time Basics is called The Psychology of a Multidimensional Being. Now, if you're interested, just interested, you're trying to see, am I going to do it? Am I not going to do it? Let me send you the information, because evolution is the solution. Let me tell you, the 6 weeks that you put into this will put you ahead financially and spiritually and in your health and in your relationships. 6 years. 6 weeks equals 6 years if you focus right. Because we're talking about focusing with the whole mind, not with the limitations we've been told that we have. Right? So message me so we can make sure you're in the right class. Now, if you've already taken classes, there's prerequisites here, right? So you just can't take any class. To go to 422, you had to take 421. So anybody who is been taking classes, if you got any questions about the classes, please reach out to me. We've re-engineered the classes and we've upgraded them for the new time. It's amazing. All right. And they were amazing before, but they're more amazing now. All right. So I went over a lot of knowledge, a lot of information with you. And my purpose was to blow your mind into remembrance. You'll never be able to say after this that you never had a chance to evolve yourself. Not Neb Teharka evolve you. You get the knowledge to walk in self-acceptance and to help yourself evolve and experience life based on your level of consciousness and intention and not someone else's. This is going to conclude our fall course series. So if you want to hear the other ones, just let me know and I'll get you the replays for those. But get started. Don't let what you don't know stop you from what you do know. You know that you ain't never heard nothing like this. That's organized and that's aligned precisely to help you evolve infinitely. But we have it right here. So it's been my pleasure. We have to actually wrap up, but email me your questions because we have to leave the space. So email me your questions and I will get to them in the next 24 hours and let's evolve together because evolution is a solution. Enjoy your creation. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for being here and being present and sharing your vibration with this collective. And we'll see you all on the horizon of evolution. Peace.
It's just different. I am the world changer, coded by the blue storm. My number is 19, the power of all number. I am the master alchemist, the force behind the philosopher's stone. skilled at the art of transmutation. I am the catalytic transformer of world consciousness and planetary living. I oversee the changes of the weather. I am the thunder that shatters your world systems. I am the transport of clouds filled with lightning to illuminate the truth behind your illusions. I am the bringer of the drenching rains that purifies, spies. It was I who caused the triple Aztec monuments of the Avatar archetype to appear in the ancient temple grounds. I oversee the morning and the evening stars. I behold the creator of the fifth sun, the present world. Sent forth am I to dwell among you, calling forth the sixth sun. For the great regeneration of the world's soul, to know me is to know your own power of self-generation. To know me is to know your own power of self-generation. Self-generation is power. I am the transport of clouds filled with lightning to illuminate the truth behind your illusions. I am the bringer of the drenching rains that purifies, spies.